Hello and welcome back to the Puncher's Chance podcast, and welcome to the preview show where we have a look forward at everything coming up in boxing over the next week and beyond. This weekend, of course, George Liddard, Kieran Conway for the British and Commonwealth on Friday night, as well as a plethora of fights just announced by Matchroom earlier in the week. And of course, as we sort of previewed in our last episode, Callum Simpson might have a new opponent as a mandatory defence for the EBU European. Stick around till the end of the episode for all that good stuff. But if you haven't already, subscribe, follow, podcast every week, all that good stuff. Great action, straight into it. Where do we even start with this weekend? I suppose we start with the boxing.
This is the first time, I think, that they've decided to put all the announcements out before we've started recording.
Yeah, true. There is a world which is lovely. And also, it's because we normally record this morning, or the morning of the day we're recording right now, and we'd have missed all of this and we'd be kicking ourselves. So I think we start off with the surgeon, Mr. Ben Whittaker, obviously recently announced to sign for Matchroom, has his first date November 29th in the NEC in Birmingham. Card including Cameron Vuong, Gavin, Gwynne 2, Aaron Bowen, Ibrahim Suleiman. We're excited to see him out this early against a strongly recorded German, I will put it.
Yeah. We know a lot about him, as we've just read up very quickly. Lost his first fight as a professional.
Wow.
I think that's pretty much... He's currently 19-1, but yeah, we wanted to see him out. Well, they said that they were going to get him out, and as soon as I seen that they had the Birmingham date, it just made sense for him to be headlining there. But yeah, it's just that it is the perfect mix in a Matchroom and Ben Whittaker. Be interesting to see if he has a different sort of atmosphere in Birmingham this time around, mate, because I was up there for the Liam
good point.
Cameron fight, and he didn't have a very good reception coming in, even though he performed very well and, quieted a lot of the skeptics. But yeah, it wasn't exactly the home atmosphere that you'd expect from a fighter that is from the local area or near the local area.
think it'll be better, and I think they'll do a lot of work to kind of.
But the undercard's going to sell itself, ain't it?
Yeah, but
they just fill that.
They'll do a lot of work to sort of clean the image of Whittaker, and I don't think it's. We've said it before on the podcast. I don't think it's an image that needs cleaning. I don't think he's done anything wrong necessarily. But obviously people took a disliking to him sort of through that 2 fights with Liam Cameron. But yeah, I think it's a really good, like you say, just to see him getting out there on the Matchroom card, getting moving, more importantly, because we haven't seen him fight anywhere near enough.
It seems ages ago since he last fight, and Ben touched upon it. That Liam Cameron fight, there was so much pressure on him in that fight. People were doubting him, saying, you found the easy way out over in Riyadh season that night, when you went over the top rope like a Royal Rumble. And for him to put in that performance and, like you said, silence everyone, and it's just gone... That's what I can do, guys. Let's pipe down a little bit. That was an off night in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Let's calm down. I am Ben Whittaker. And this link up with Matchroom, right? It's going to be fantastic. Eddie Hearn and Ben Whittaker, the duo is just, the fight week's going to be brilliant. The back and forths. And
see, I actually think as well, more importantly, it's the matchup with Andy Lee that we're going to see a greater synergy the longer they've spent together. Do you not think that is an even more exciting
we've seen it
prospect?
Against Liam Cameron, didn't we?
Yeah, but obviously it'd only been a short amount of time. We're going to be seeing far more work with him now, and a far more complete version of what Andy Lee sees Ben Whittaker as a future fighter. That's more exciting.
When you think of the potential fights that Whittaker could be involved in, just because whether you love him or you hate him, he's going to attract an audience, and I think the further he goes with Matchroom now, he's going to have some big nights. And with Andy Lee, I think that, like you said, was just the perfect combination. Him going to train out in the gym with Andy Lee, just the switch up that it seems to have made in... But he's full of confidence, he's full of belief, but it almost... Well, he's sort of grown as this big social media presence, and it almost felt like that got stripped away quite a bit, especially in the lead up to that rematch. Like, didn't really hear a lot from him, and he spoke openly after the fight as well about how much of an effect that sort of social media backlash had on him after the first fight. But yes, it seems to be all on the rise at the moment for him in terms of his career going forward.
and I think this is his only fight in the UK with Matchroom, and then he's over to America straight after this, I reckon.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's maybe a little bit more work to be done. And also, we don't know what route they're going to take him in terms of titles-wise. If they're taking him...
This is for a title, though, you know? From what I read. Or am I wrong now? Have I read that?
Have
WBC Silver, is it?
It is, yeah, WBC Silver.
So,
which, I mean, let's be real, you know, if there's any belt that you're going to be getting to in that division, it's the WBC, because that's where David Benavidez holds. You know, a fight between David Benavidez and Dimitri Bivol could be a brilliant fight. I don't necessarily know if we see it.
He's got to get through Anthony Yard first as well, ain't he?
Well, yeah, there's all sorts of stuff going on with it, but yeah, I mean, it's a good title to have. Of course, you'd want it.
Really glad as well that we're seeing Gavin, Gwynne, Cameron Vuong too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feels like
about time. And I'm a little bit gutted that it's not happening on, you know, the Eubank Ben undercard, which we all expected it to happen on. But for it just to be happening now, and, you know, I think, it was in Birmingham as well. They went head to head with each other as well the last time they fought on the Sonny Edwards card.
I can't remember off the top of my head. It was obviously meant to be scheduled for Newcastle Northeast.
Was it the Sonny Edwards
or Galal Yafai? It might.
Or was it?
It was in Birmingham, I think. So he's going back to the scene of
the crime.
Well, you can put it that way if you want.
The robbery.
It was. Let's be honest. It was a robbery that night. So, but yeah, it's a great fight, and you know, Cameron Vuong, I want to say he fought up in Sunderland the other week, didn't he?
He looked really good as well.
Exactly. That's like where you're looking, you know, Gavin Gwynne hasn't been given that opportunity. You know, he fought Vuong and it was like, right, there you go, push you to one side. And then we saw him in a small horse show in Wales, you know, get a comfortable win. And then he was literally saying to us afterwards, he's just waiting. It was a waiting game, and he no longer has to wait. He's got the date in front of him now that he can work towards. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Really am.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, same. It's a good fight, and obviously we have the added value of being based in Wales, knowing Gavin, having had him on the podcast, all of those sorts of things. But commercially, for boxing, for British boxing, it's an interesting fight because very similarly, actually, in a way to the sort of Bilal Fawaz versus Junaid Boston fight, it has a lot of mirroring and similarities. And don't get me wrong, if it ends the same way, I'll be quite happy. But the idea that the first fight was an injustice, the fact that it took a little while to come round and get the second one, the fact that it was a harder working, sort of gritty, perceived as less talented fighter that should have had the decision on the first night. There is a lot of similarities there. So, like you say, it's good that it's coming round eventually. We've got a date for it finally, and it's on the undercard of a good fight that I think will fill out an arena. There'll be the support for it.
Yeah, should be hopefully a good atmosphere. I know a lot of Welsh will probably travel up as well for that, hopefully. So
I'm there for Mexicans. Yeah,
absolutely. And when you're looking at good atmospheres, a Friday night card in the York Hall, like we're going to be seeing this weekend, Kieran Conway, George Liddard, which, by the way, is an unbelievable fight.
Where's it come from?
You know, that's a fight that when you're looking at the career of George Liddard, you didn't necessarily expect them to make that one so soon. And Kieran Conway is obviously a level of fighter that's shown his level. You've got Jimmy Sains on the undercard. You've got Shannon Ryan, Taylor Bevan, Leli Buttigieg, Tiah-Mai Ayton. I mean, it's exciting prospects. It's
Adam Macker.
Big knockout potential. Adam Macker as well. In the York Hall on a Friday night, that's a bit of me. That's something special.
I love watching boxing in the York Hall. We've been lucky enough to be there a couple of times, but that main event, I'm really looking forward to. On a Friday night as well, it's going to be...
They've built it quite right, haven't they? When I say, where's this come from? It's actually come from the Dave Allen Fisher undercard. You know, both of them were on that card. And, you know, I think George Liddard got his... I want to say Conway fought before Liddard. I could be wrong. Or something was like, Liddard called him out or something. But it's great that they're getting it on. And you boys have been fortunate enough to be at the York Hall, but you know, from home watching it, you can't beat a fight night in the York Hall. And I want to say Jimmy Sains has got a tough fight as well.
Yeah, Troy Coleman's not an easy opponent.
He's coming off a brilliant win.
I seen Troy Coleman fight. He was on the undercard of Whittaker.
Okay.
Liam Cameron when he won. Was it the English title he won?
Was it Brad Goldsmith?
Yeah.
That was a really good fight. Yeah,
really
BP Pulse Live. Yeah, it was in Birmingham. Yeah,
that was a bit of a back and forth, but he caught Goldsmith with a really good shot at the end of like the 6th round, I think it was, and then stopped him in the next round, but that was a really good fight.
He's got a draw against Robbie Chapman as well.
He does, the Camden caretaker. Yeah, the card is let's call it what it is. It is a chance for the prospects of Matchroom to get out and get fights and get active. It's what they were previously sort of calling a next gen card, which they seem to have moved away from. But I don't see that as being a problem. I think, to put it in the York Hall, to put it on a Friday night, it'll be free to air on DAZN. I'm more inclined to watch all of these fights because of that.
Yeah.
And, and there is a part of me that kind of wishes I was in in Bethnal Green on Friday, because I think it will be a good atmosphere in there.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of talented fighters. For me, this is the sort of, it's that new class of Matchroom fighters. The Adam Macker, Tiah-Mai Ayton, Taylor Bevan, and then Leli Buttigieg's obviously been around for a little bit longer, but there's a lot of talent there.
We've been lucky to see a good amount of them live as well, and especially with Sainz and Liddard, I've seen them fight.
Yeah, both on that top tier card.
Really good.
Yeah, they both look and Leli Buttigieg fought on a top tier card as well, and again just looked just a cut above his opposition on that night, and a cut above, in absolutely no disrespect to any of the other fighters on that card, a cut above all the other fighters on their card. It was a very much kind of, this is what the real sort of proper prospects look like in the form of Leli Buttigieg. So I'm always looking forward to seeing him fight. Another one as well, obviously Tiah-Mai Ayton, we've banged that drum quite considerably about her potential, and obviously had the article on the magazine as well. But she's fighting Valda Benito, who lost to Fran Hennessy on one of the boxer cards last year.
Not the Royal Albert Hall, was it?
I don't believe so. No, it was she's a sort of tough Argentinian opponent, and obviously my age-old saying, you don't stop an Argentinian. But Tiah-Mai has shown that she stops most things, so that would be an unstoppable object meets an immovable object. An unstoppable force meets an immovable object. That's
got there in the end.
Yeah,
got there in the end. But it's interesting as well. You see the prospects now. Taylor Bevan and Leli Buttigieg. It's their first 8 rounders as well on Friday night. So it's that sort of step up, like you say. And it's a bit like Matchroom's like, here you go, guys. This is the future of Matchroom boxing now. These are the guys that we are going to invest in and give the time and, give them the platform ultimately, because they can show off their talents. And as much as it's at the York Hall, these fighters are probably used to fighting on big arenas. Tiah-Mai Ayton made a professional debut in a massive arena in Birmingham, I think. I could be wrong again, but I want to make sure I get that right, actually.
Yeah, I can't remember then. There's Newcastle.
Yeah,
was
Birmingham.
But yeah, I think...
But it's a great card. And Shannon Ryan and Chloe Watson as well. That's a 50-50 right there for some IBF title. But Friday night at the York Hall, like we said, you can't beat it.
Yeah, and Conway Liddard is the pick of the bunch for the British 100%. And Commonwealth. You stick a real 50-50 fight on there.
Tough fight, mind.
For either fight, right? Yeah, that he's genuine.
My experience against...
Is it too early for Liddard?
Possibly, yeah. But if he's going to be the fighter that we expect him to be, he's a British title and Commonwealth title against someone like Kieran Conway, is a fight he should be winning. So absolutely chuck him in there. Why not? He's had a lot of learning fights and a lot of build up as well.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it is a roll the dice. I think it's just
it's a time where you got to step up and
take
show
that time
ability,
when it comes. And I think that time has come for him now. So yeah, I think that's a really great fight. And like you said, I believe actually Keiron Conway is the favourite with the bookies going into that one. And again, when you look at it, it kind of makes sense. But obviously, with being a prospect, you'd expect him to be the so nice little back and forth. We'll get onto the Boxing News app in just a moment. Before that, they've also finally announced the Monte Carlo show. It's not taking place in the casino.
Gutted. Pointless going there now.
Are you going to go there anyway? I'm sure you've got some tax accounts to clean up while you're there. You can no.
Say that again.
Allegedly.
I'll be like Eddie O now. Chris, you say that again. Say that again. No.
Allegedly.
Listen, I love a fight week in Monaco. I've never been there myself, but for a fight
Monaco
week,
or for a fight week.
I've been in Monaco, but it's something about it. Them being in a casino is like, it was mental. I remember watching, I want to say it was actually at Caballel and Derek Chisora in a European title fight there.
Yeah.
Gennady Golovkin's fought there, Joe Cordina as well. It's a great destination, and the card that they've brought out is fantastic.
It's a really good card.
Yeah, I really, really like it. Shabazz Masood, Peter McGrail. We were meant to see that in June this year, I believe. Then he got called off for an injury, but that is a great fight. Two really exciting fighters, two big. I mean, yeah, Masood is. I think, have I seen Masood live? Maybe not. I might be. No, I think I'm getting my fights mixed up, but he is a quality fighter. Obviously, the return of Johnny Fisher, which you'll be greatly excited about. Conor Walker, Pat McCormack.
Where's this come from?
It's a brilliant fight. You know, it's one of those sort of you say, you know, stars make fights kind of thing.
Get your popcorn out.
That's going to be a really
it's going to be really interesting. And then Sean McComb on the card as well.
And Ferreira against Turhan. That'll be a good fight.
Just a
Turhan. She is one of the biggest punchers in female boxing, I think.
Yeah, and I think what they've been able to do really well. I mean, I don't think Conor Walker falls into this category, but obviously Fisher, off the back of his defeats, maybe doesn't have the same sort of ticket pull that he did. He's got to sort of prove himself again. Bitches Ferreira from Brazil with Matchroom, they don't necessarily have that local authority, and I think what they're able to do with these cards in Monaco, albeit it's a nice spectacle, is they're able to get fighters out in good 50-50 fights, but there isn't always the same pressure of selling the tickets, and it means you can really make the fights you want to make, and that's what we're seeing.
I do feel like, though, Monaco is sort of, you talk about Vasily in the last episode, it seems a bit of a bucket list destination for fighters, maybe.
I'd love to fight there.
Yeah.
Like, you would, wouldn't you? Of course you would. Yeah. It's an interesting venue, and it's a storied sporting principality. So, yeah, absolutely. Onto the Boxing News app. Onto the predictions. It feels like a little while now, because this is obviously our first sort of double header of episodes in this week. It's been a while since we've done a review and a preview. Do we know who won the predictions last week? I would be inclined to say me, because I got the Fawaz decision right, but I haven't checked that.
I think
I'm going to guess it's you.
Because
I
you
can't
got the
remember.
decision.
I don't think I got many right.
Fair enough. I respect it. Well, either way, you know, I'm happy with that. Not too many fights been put on this one, disappointingly, by the Boxing News. So, you know, do better, guys, do better. Shannon Ryan, Chloe Watson, super flyweight 8-rounder. You said this would be an interesting fight, a difficult one to call. 7-0, 8-0. Which one are you going for, Mr. Harry?
Shannon Ryan, points decision.
I'm going for the same.
I'm going Chloe Watson, points decision. Yeah. I like Chloe Watson. I think she's a quality fighter. In the Royal Albert Hall against.
She lost against.
No, she won. She won. She was the upset of the night against.
No, I'm sure she lost that night.
She's got an unbeaten record. She definitely won that one.
No,
she beat someone.
She definitely lost that night.
She's got a defeat. Both of them have got defeats, actually.
Have I just made that up?
They've got the. I'm positive she lost that night.
Really?
Do you want to do a bet? I'm checking now. Do you boys want to do a bet?
She lost against
Zappa
Canosta, whatever her name is.
Did she? Oh, yeah, of course
she did. For the European, but she's coming down now.
Yeah, of course she did.
I think this is for the IBF.
Well, Boxing News needs to update their app anyway, but I did generally think she won that fight for some reason. I thought she was the kind of upset of the night.
Yeah, Shannon Ryan I'm going for on the decision.
So are you sticking with Chloe Watson after that? Or?
I am, yeah. Jimmy Sains versus Troy Coleman. We called that one. Good fight. Interesting fight. But I do think it's one that Sains should be winning. I think Coleman might be susceptible to a big shot, so I'm going to go for a Sains stoppage, but it could easily be a points decision.
Yeah, we've got the exact same idea.
You'd be daft not to go for Sains stoppage as well. Like, that is his brand. If he's going to win a fight, it's probably by stoppage.
Yeah, he's 9 for 9, isn't he?
Stoppage.
Yeah. And then the main event, Kieran Conway, George Liddard. See, I set this up nicely, Ben, that you're going to have to go first for this one. For the 50-50 is another middleweight 12-rounder. How are you seeing it?
I'm going straight out Liddard by stoppage.
You think? Wow.
That's what I'm going to go for. I think it's going to be one of those ones where towards the back end of the fight, both men go in for it. And I think Liddard will get best of an exchange and stop him.
Fair enough. What about you, bud?
Liddard decision. I think
I've gone for the same. I think it's going to be another one of those sort of wars of attrition where eventually both fighters don't have the energy in the tank to stop one another. Because I think they've both got passable chins that I think they're going to take lumps out of each other, take it out of each other, and then it'll be a nice little slugfest to the end where Liddard will pick up a nice little narrow but deserved points decision, to give my very precise predictions on it.
And what a win it'll be, mine, for him.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a really good fight. It puts you in really good stead.
And a huge 2026 then afterwards.
Yeah, I think that, puts him in a really good place. And the British and Commonwealth title, yes, please. You know, you'd be daft not to. So, anything else to discuss, to cover? Anything else exciting coming up in your guys' eyes? Oh, actually, there is. bit of a weird one. I seen this on Twitter.
Not the AI stuff again, please.
No, I seen this on Twitter earlier today. Box Raw, and I must suggest this is, and of course we haven't done Hamzah Sheeraz his opponent yet, but Box Raw are saying reportedly that Pacquiao is going to be returning to the ring once again, this time against Vasily Lomachenko. I must stress.
What's the day today?
Rumoured.
Not April 1st, is it?
Let's say,
Surely not.
Hypothetically speaking, that's happening. Are we happy, sad, indifferent, confused, angry?
I never thought I'd see it, I'll tell you that much. But I think Lomachenko gets the win there.
Yeah, I mean, you'd
Lomachenko's surely one of our top 10 fighters. For me, one of my favourites of all time.
Yeah, and I think just more recently retired. I don't think he retired on a.
Well, I'm not
on
being
the
funny.
sense of he had to retire. I think he retired.
As a fighter come over to the country, Alexander Usyk maybe, but when he fought Luke Campbell, people were buying tickets just to say that they watched Lomachenko live.
Oh, he's the dogs. He's
even though
unbelievable.
they were there to support their own in Luke Campbell, but they wanted to really watch the Ukrainian in action.
Manny Pacquiao on his day was also unbelievable. I think it's just,
Pacquiao did look good, mind, in his comeback fight.
We were sat here like a few months ago going, why the hell is he back?
I think Barrios looked rubbish of him more than anything. I think Lomachenko is more recently retired, and I think you'd tend to. But happy to see it. Would you? I mean, obviously we'll watch it if it happens. Let's not try and pretend otherwise. But is it something you want to see?
Nah,
it's not top of my bucket list of boxing fights for next year. But
you got Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson as well.
Yeah.
That's the real one.
That's the real one that we're looking forward to.
You got that. You got Jake Paul.
Lyndon Arthur, Anthony Yard-4. It's a good one.
Imagine them three on a card together.
Dreamland. Absolute dreamland.
That might even top the New York card.
Yeah. Maybe Gwynne, Owen Durham too. That'd be a good one as well. Just a few ideas thrown out there. And of course, we haven't mentioned it yet. A fight that very much I would like to see. We've teased it a few times now accidentally, but Callum Simpson has been ordered to defend his EBU European title against Hamzah Sheeraz at super middleweight. Obviously, Hamzah Sheeraz off the back of a very emphatic win over Edgar Berlanga. Callum Simpson's had a very good few a year or so in a few fights. What do we think of that? Do you think both parties want the fight? Do we see it? If so, what happens?
I think they'd both be interested in it. That is very much one of those fights I wouldn't want to pick a winner.
No.
Because I don't want to see either man lose.
I wouldn't want to pick a winner. I think I could pick a winner. I think I would pick who I think would win it.
Who? Sheeraz?
I think Hamzah Sheeraz, you'd have to say, is a...
Because not being disrespectful, but for Sheeraz, that performance against Berlanga was incredible. It's
the Andy Lee effect again.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think as well, exactly when you look at it...
It's a step down, really.
No, maybe not. Because I think
Sheeraz is beyond that level, though. He's world level, I think, Sheeraz.
Well, yes, but Sheeraz lost his only world title, drew, but, lost his only world title fight. And Callum Simpson has defeated everyone at domestic level. So really, neither of them have a win at world level.
Yeah, in terms of accolades.
So in terms of accolades, they're probably fairly even. I think Hamzah Sheeraz, off the back of the Berlanga fight, off the back of the Amo Williams fight, you would say has had the pedigree at a higher level that he should be winning that fight. And I think style-wise, we saw what Callum Simpson had to deal with Ivan Zuko and being caught a little bit cold, got knocked down a couple of times in that fight. That's not something you could afford to do against Hamzah Sheeraz. You cannot switch off
that's the
moment,
concern,
which is why I think Sheeraz would win that fight. But equally, Sheeraz wouldn't be able to do to Simpson what he did to someone like Tyler Denny because the size he won't have, the range he won't have to the same extent. And I think style-wise, brilliant fight. I don't know if it makes as much sense to Callum Simpson because I do think he'd lose it. And so I think maybe it might be of interest to go elsewhere. But I would have no complaints if he goes, go on, sign the dotted line, give me it.
Surely that don't happen on BBC Minds.
I was going to say, also, how do you get the agreement between Ben Shalom and Frank Warren?
Especially after October, next weekend of boxing.
Well, it's next weekend's
allegedly
is it?
has been postponed.
I wonder.
It's not been confirmed at the point of recording.
It has allegedly been moved to the 29th of November. So instead of going up against Frank Warren and Queensberry, they're now going up against Matchroom and Ben Whittaker.
Allegedly.
former boxer.
They can't do that though because they're using the same venue then, no? In Birmingham. Oh no, Derby. Sorry.
Yeah,
Derby.
it's
Forget about what
good
I'm forgetting,
location wise, but no, I just think, I don't know. I really like Callum Simpson, and I desperately want him to do the business at world level. And I don't know if Hamzah Sheeraz is the fight to do that with. But from a boxing fan point of view, that is a really exciting clash.
Fight,
Really exciting fight week, really exciting build up. If you could get Frank and Ben to agree on it, then them two in the same room is
the thing is, I think
fireworks in its own right.
I think they'll be respectful to one another because they'll probably know each other. No,
There's no respect there from Frank.
Not at all.
No,
the fighters will be. No, and I think that the other problem is the way that boxer have to operate now. They don't have as many stars, and I don't know if they'd be willing to pass off an event. They wouldn't. Callum Simpson's one of their best ticket sellers, one of their best main eventers. You lose him to a Queensberry show or a Riyadh season show or a Ring magazine show, and that's one less big fight you can put on that year. The other argument is it's one of the biggest money fights you could get out of Callum Simpson probably at this stage. So do they cash in on that and do the build up back on BBC if he does lose it, or ride the coattails up to world title fights against the likes of Canelo if he wins it? Could be the strategic route there, but I still don't think it makes sense.
If they don't agree to it, or essentially he will have to then vacate.
But it goes to purse bid, so I think it's 2 weeks today. We're filming this on Tuesday, so 2 weeks today the negotiations end, and then it's open a purse bid.
Boxers they're not going
to win that, are they?
No, Queensberry will outbid them, but he still doesn't have to take the fight. He doesn't have to sign the.
You just
but then
sign the thing.
Belt.
Just
Is there going to be an element of pride involved then? Because if he says I'm not taking the fight, vacates, makes him look like a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, you'd have to get another good fight lined up to go. The reason we didn't take this fight is because we had this one lined up, which I don't think.
But I mean,
that
stick's not going to land.
You're going to be you'd be frustrated if you were meant to be fighting Kevin Leli Buttigieg, who, don't get me wrong, is a really, really good fighter in his own right. But I think he's probably a little bit lower a level than Hamzah Sheeraz. And then now Diego Pacheco is fighting him, so you're fighting Hamzah Sheeraz. Ideally, you'd go, well, why can't I fight him? And Hamzah Sheeraz can go over stateside and fight Pacheco. But, game's a game.
I feel like they may just be backed into a corner where they need to take it.
You know where it's going to end up probably, though.
Callum Simpson's going to fancy his chances, isn't he? He's not going to look great anything.
I think we're at danger of talking it as a finished contest.
I think
it's
it'd be a very good fight.
Yeah. By no way is that a tick off as a Hamzah Sheeraz win onto the next one. No way. He's going to have to work hard and be at his best. But I think either fighter at their best, Hamzah Sheeraz wins that fight. Yeah. Do you agree?
I'd go for a draw.
Oh, God, then.
He's having splinters.
Other than that, I mean, that's lots of exciting boxing to come up and look forward to. A lot of it we're going to have to wait a little while for, unfortunately. But to keep us busy, we've obviously got a nice little card on Friday.
We're going to have a really busy November now.
Yeah. Lots of good fights.
Basically every weekend.
I keep forgetting, every week or so, I get a sudden memory of that Ring 4 card or whatever it is with Devin Haney, Norman Jr. and Sam Noakes, Abdullah Mason. That's in November 22nd. I remember that fight card.
So Ben Whittaker's fight's on a Friday night then?
No, Saturday.
No, that's the week before, I think.
Oh my God,
I just, every once in a while, I get a memory that fight card exists, and it just makes my life a little bit better.
I'm up in York Hall, 22nd.
Oh, there you go.
23rd, actually.
For top tier?
Top tier.
It's getting busy now, isn't it?
2 top tier cards on the same night.
So I'll have to stay up for that, and then get up and...
Yeah. It's in Riyadh. It'll be good timing.
Yeah, true.
Anyway,
can be on the same time.
With all of that good stuff to be said, obviously lots of great content coming up with all that stuff in November on both the YouTube channel and Spotify. So if you like what you heard, you saw, you felt, I don't know, then click and follow us on Spotify or subscribe on YouTube. Content coming on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff as always. So yeah, just follow us wherever you feel like it. And we'll see you all next week to be reviewing the card on Friday and hopefully previewing any fighting coming up if it hasn't been.
Parker Wardley.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
Forgot that.
Well, because there was obviously the free one on. I might have to pay the pay-per-view now. Anyway, we'll be talking about that. We'll see you all next week.
Punches chance. Punches Chance Podcast.